Hey guys, here playing Spark, and this is a list trying out red herrings again, which is a card that's been around for a long time. I haven't seen a lot of play recently. The one trash cost is obviously very low and annoying, but with Political Operative coming out very shortly, we're going to have to deal with that kind of stuff because your Ashing Priest can get trashed by Political Operative and then you just lose your agenda, which is miserable. So we're going to try the red herrings. It still works even through Political Operative, which is cool. So we have the option here to play Resistor. I'm tempted to do Resistor launch product. I think that's pretty good, actually. If you can do 2 ads right at the bat, it's going to interrupt their ability to play like a baby or play a Proco or play daily cast, whatever it is. Do we res this right away? We probably do, actually. So I'm guessing this will live, or he'll hit the product place and we can just play our hedge fund next turn. I think it's fine. I feel like a pretty weird play, like I guess Dirty Laundry would do it into like Inti or something. Yeah, on your internet between the end turn and the start of the opponent's turn is kind of this little limbo zone where things can behave weirdly. So if I wait for her turn to actually start with like this, sorasakura to start their turn, then it should work properly. So a great little card launch campaign if you can get it to go. -$1 and 5 for you. It's like a restructure, but you can play it right from the start. Very happy to have, I think, 3 of them in this deck. Astro Bar looks delicious. Okay, so there's a lady. Fair. Here's our red herrings. I don't know if we're going to be able to make the best use of it. I think I kind of want to cover HQ. There's no pressure right now in terms of like RDI. I know she's not playing indexing, which would be the main reason to ice R&D here. So the informed decision based on knowing there's no indexing is to cover HQ, protect the herrings, protect the NAPD, etc. Later on this will be one lady token, whereas this will at least tax this can be an R&D and it can tax every time. Early Astrolabe, always what they want to see. We do have 3 pads that we'll be making servers with. So that's a bit of a nuisance. I'll try to keep it to like 2-3 servers. We can ice our pads if we have to. So her on 0 credits. I like that. We could even make the push with red herrings, but I don't think it's that good right now. Ah, cool. Do we... excuse me. We just cover R&D for now. Now next turn we could put Beal with red herrings. And probably... well, that's a bit risky. I'd much rather have any other ice in front of this as well as a resistor. That way we're going to check the lady on a gear check and also check the other thing. So let's try to draw any other ice. We've got a bit of a low ice count. We've got, I think, 15 ice in the deck. So we're going to have to draw a little more aggressively to find stuff. Cash. Not too shabby. We could just slam an APD as well. And hope that she comes out with not enough money to take it. We'll see about that. 15 minutes. Oh yeah, that's nice. There's the toll booth. Toll remote. Yeah, this is pretty safe without red herrings. Like, really, we could think about scoring a 3-point Beal by doing like advance, sweep, keep our money up. But I think because we have the 15 minutes, we're going to be okay to score it as a 2-pointer, score this as a 1-pointer, and then do 2 more 2-pointers. Spark is one of those ideas where you really learn your timing structures a little better. It's Spark and Nacier that are really about that, kind of digging into the various windows. Because in a lot of play, you can kind of gloss over it and just have kind of a hazy conception of when you can do things. But the games can sometimes hinge on whether Spark can make you lose $1 that you need at a certain time, or Nacier can get his money and spend his money and get more money. So it's kind of neat we have these kind of technical IDs. So my fear if I go for the 3-point Beal is that she will get a refractor online for $1 and just have enough to go. So he's going to try and stay at 0 with the cash money, which is kind of fun. Just bring it out. Okay, well, having this launch campaign makes our decision a lot easier. We really want to just get this launch into the remote ASAP. I know she's not playing Claw, she's playing Imp and Legwork together. So I'm going to just discard this. We could put this on a random server, but I think I would rather have all these other cards. We want to score both of these cards. So we can let our launch tick next turn, or we can start scoring the NAPD. Kind of want to start the launch, and then we can score the 15 minutes at a hand next turn. She'll get a card from Astrolabe, which is inconvenient. Hayley's difficult. So 2 stealth and 4 now. So this remote is becoming $3 attacks and the cure check and refractor. It's rapidly losing effectiveness. Maybe we should jam NAPD and sweeps just to get out of the way. It's going to be harder to score later with film critic comes down. Having that $4 barrier is maybe pretty good for us. Yeah, I think that might be better than starting the launch right away. The advantage of launch is that you can make her run it on game point. So maybe we'll race towards game point. So should I even install this? Because if she runs take the NAPD and doesn't take NAPD, she can still trash the red herrings at that time. This is a little womp womp. Well, she's on 1. Could start the launch in a separate server. And start the NAPD. That could be interesting. She might buy that. If I can get her to come to this tool with a not steal, that's a huge win for us. Should I res this right now? Actually, I will. She comes and kills it. That's going to distract her from everything else. And I can get the extra $1 tax in the pop-up when she comes through. So making the second server now is a bit awkward, but the advantage is if we draw pad later, we can slam it in there, or more launch campaigns, or whatever. We can have a server that won't give her more astrolabe draws. Her setup is really kind of dependent on drawing a lot of cards, so if we can slow the drawing process, it's good for us. Hitting money pretty well. Second cash, got the pawn shop. See, early on you keep them poor, but that rapidly stops becoming possible. Runner economies are just so efficient these days, so she didn't hit the pop-up. Now we can... I think we make the Astro play. I think it's better enough than the NAPD that actually just binning the NAPD is fine. Like now we're asking her to get through the booth and the red herrings and then through the booth again, which I think is a tough call for this turn. And the red herrings also does not block the product placements triggering, which is kind of neat, because if you have Ash succeeding, then they don't get to even access anything else on the server, including product placement. With the herrings, they still access every card. So now we're really only exposed to like refractor, and a bunch of more money would be bad, or like a stim hack, which I don't think she has any stim hack in there. We have 3 Jackson, so I imagine we'll be able to throw this back before she ever checks archives. there's the approach phase and you res the ice, and then the runner can do things, and there's the encounter phase, encounter triggers, and both players can do things in that one. So this is kind of where if Netrunner was designed to be digital from the first place, you probably wouldn't have this kind of instant abilities where you can pass priority back and forth all the time. You'd probably have a simpler timing structure. But usually it's not too bad. So Archangel is indeed an issue. And we are playing it. Like this Astro here by itself seems a little riskier, but there's such a huge shield from the runner not wanting to waste her time on all these random cards. I mean, how bad is the Archangel hit? It would bounce the full lady, probably. Losing $4 that way. You have to, she could take the money off and take the dagger off the workshop, so that wouldn't really be a loss. I can see trying it either way. Or just going in here to try and bust this and run up and make a mess. Or waiting for the long-term sort of RDI lock plan. The question is whether we can go fast enough to pull this off. But I think if we get the Astro token, we'll be in great shape. Because then we can either do the food sand trick where you put a food into sand and then you just score it from never advanced. Or we can score 15 minutes, another Astro. And we're going to have many, many more outs if we score the Astro than if we score this NAPD, which does basically nothing. Besides be 2 points. Alright, so we're going to get to do our attacks, which is very relevant. It's a great thing when you play a mix of like bigger ice and tiny ice. They have to worry. Or just take chances and get smacked around. This is great, because now, oh, she can take the cash money to get her RDI online. But she won't be able to trash anything. Unless she burns Ghost Runner money. Will she unload the RDI? She could even chip another cash and get an extra $2. I don't know how good that is. She's going to bring the RDI off. That's fair. So our other NAPD is safe right now. Or our other 2 NAPDs are safe. Sorry, we're playing the full 3 because of the econ denial aspect of this deck. So there's actually a pretty good chance she will see an NAPD and not be able to take it. Come on, not my Astro. What would be amazing would be like 2 product placements. You would just like, lol. Oh, 1 product placement. It's good. Yeah, I gotta get rid of it, I think. I mean, she can pawn the Ghost Runner, so that's decent. She's got 2 cloaks, so she's not gonna run into a stealth this game, I think. All right, so we are in business, and there was an NAPD. Oh, amazing. So now we are in great shape, actually. We will score this Astro. And we'll score the 15 minutes, then we'll score the NAPD. So she's gonna get fresh cards off R&D, but it's gonna be hard to race 0 to 8 when we already have these points in our hand that we need to score. Only question is, what do you score first? Like, do we score the NAPD first in order to bait her into the server when the red herrings is there? Probably a little better. So if this gets stolen, we can shuffle it back in, but we're gonna have a hard time drawing it again. Her bank will go up in the next few turns pretty sharply. She can pawn this, she can pawn this. Really, she can pawn that. Oh, don't come to my HQ. Oh boy. Maybe she'll go to R&D and just try to use the imp tokens there, but I think it's better on the HQ. Because she has no idea what's in here. She hasn't run here yet this game. So our hopes of drawing Jackson haven't gone super well. This deck is probably worse against Wizard, I would say. So there's quite a lot of trashables they can use. So passing priority again, because this could, after all, be another product placement, or I guess for upgrades, it's all it can be. We'll take $1. If we draw a second toll booth, we're pretty happy. Everything else is kind of whatever at this point. R&D will get pillaged. And this imp does beat our red herrings play, because instead of stealing, I can just pay the imp token to trash it. So red herrings have not been that impressed so far. Did its job once, but I feel like overall, oh, there's our toll booth gone. Yeah, I feel like overall it's not that exciting. It's just kind of helpful when you want to go fast, because it is a 1 cost upgrade that you can slam down. And in the early game, you're not going to have 5. So I don't know, I might test it a little more, but this hasn't been super promising. It is also in faction, which is an advantage, because you want to play some nice ice. We have an architect in here still. I think the architect is really quite good. Comes the second RDI. All right, so it's building up. Like I say, I think we're still in time to race. This Enigma actually might gear check it. There's no SMC. Well, let's give her a go, right? I have no problems advertising this as points, because it's going to be so hard for her to steal here. So pawning the cast, getting 3. There's some argument, I think, to letting the cast expire and pawning something else. Just to have more money in a burst. It's kind of whether you think you're going to have something to pawn next turn. And whether the money now is better than a little bit less money later. Because right now she needs the money to get in R&D again and to bring her RDI out. So where's that refractor? It's not a refractor. It's just more pawn fodder. Oh, there's the refractor. There it is. But our remote is still safe, I think. Yeah, it is. See if she wants to go through. She could dump her money in the workshop and not go through. Or no, because the Ghost Runner would have to pay. Had to pay quite a bit. Like, it's got to be an agenda, right? She just has to think whether she can get past whatever this mystery card is. Because if it's an Ash, then she's also going to be bouncing from the Ash and probably can't even trash Ash, depending what she does. Oh no, she can imp the Ash, so that's okay. I think you probably pay through here. I don't think it's crazy to dump your money into RDI. And jack out, but going through I think makes sense with the amount of cloak money here. It's gonna get to actually imp our NAPD contract. Womp womp. Poor barriers. Lady renders you all completely worthless. Well, she already can't steal for 4. So, no point even resing this. Bad red herrings. You did nothing. So she imps the NAPD, the product placement will stay. Unless she spends her last ghost to trash it, so... Getting a bit of money. Really, if we can find a sand, that'll have a good home in server 1. Let's see if she figures out she can imp this. Yeah, well done. It's gone. But we will get to keep our product placement. Now, if we can draw Jackson, we'll be really happy. So best case is top deck Astro. Next best case is to get like a Jax or something like that. Wrap around. That's awful. Let's see if we can draw her attention to HQ. Oh, I bet this will draw her, right? Can we get her to come in the server again? And we both know she can get in, but she might think, I might think that I'm willing just to risk a 2-pointer or even like a 1-pointer. I don't know, we gotta find a way to Draw another agenda. I feel like Fast Track would come in handy in this deck. I'll try to fit one in. Nothing worse with NBN than just getting R&D locked and you just need to draw points and you can't. You could also put the 15 minutes in the server one and then got another run in for nothing. Imp is back, so we're going to see an HQ run here. The HQ run's pretty good. She has a full breaker suite. She has stealth. She should run somewhere, I think. R&D, okay. Well, 3 for us, 1 for her. Does nothing. In we come for 3 accesses. Oh boy. I mean, this was doing its job and we thought she might not have Refractor, but now I might just put the Architect over it. At least we're going to charge the Stealth and 2 real credits. Or maybe it's just, I don't know, power drawing. I think we are definitely in trouble, even though she has no points. This lock is getting real. And she can even imp something if she has to. Oh, kind of wanted that Jackson. Then again, maybe she just won't check archives ever, and then those will be safe there. We didn't get a pad rolling at all this game, so we're a little poor for my tastes. Well, that's decent. So she stole, she imped. This is the fresh one, so they're fresh again. Man. I don't think this is even necessarily worth reinforcing. Maybe we just score the Sand, or score the 15 minutes. We can make her kill it with the imp, which is not terrible, right? Oh yeah, that's right, you might as well. It happens. So we gotta figure out what we're gonna send back now. Because sending back the NAPDs kind of puts them into her hands. She knows there's one there already, so once she gets to gain points, she'll just run there and find that in fact there's 2 of them there. I think we have to wait till she sees 3 and then shuffle and try to draw an agenda on our mandatory. That's really about our only way to get a fresh card. There's way too many agendas still in the deck. We're playing a list of 10 agendas. Oh boy. So far we've got 4, 5, 6, so there's 4 and 23. Which is not that far off the default density. But if we're forced to shuffle 2 more in, we'll be pretty upset about that. So now does she go in this server, spend 3 real money, imp the Sand, or if this was a CVS, she wouldn't even get to, but I think it was a CVS, I'll just put it right on top. She knows I do Jackson, so she probably figures out it's Sand server 2. And if that's the case, then if she wants to get at it, she's better just run archives than run this server 2. So putting it here just gives you the flexibility to either draw with it and not crack it right away. So like next turn I want to do like draw 2, and then install in server 1. And keep the Jackson out so I have the option to draw more. Yeah, well, I didn't res this last turn. I think it's pretty solid to just run there again, get fresh cards. Really can't complain about that. Now she's able to run here, spend 3. She can come back to the R&D, or we can not shuffle, let her spend 3 trashing Jackson. I think we don't shuffle. If she comes, we just don't shuffle anyway. But yeah, things look really bad for us. Didn't draw enough points, I think was part of it. Oh, she's gonna come here with a click left. So now if we do shuffle, she's gonna get fresh. But if we don't shuffle, she's going to be able to run archives, and if she has $8, she'll win. It's pretty dicey. She can probably spend cloak here rather than paying $1. So she did end up paying $1, keeping the stealth so she can assure her run here goes through if we were to shuffle. So we're just going to not shuffle and hope she uses the imp. Yeah, this Shaper rig is so efficient. Barrier is basically free. Code gates, basically free. Sentries, Amy doesn't have any good sentries really. We got 1 data raven here, which would be good to see. Might as well bring this up for 0. I doubt we'll ever manage to run the lady tokens out. There is a clone chip sitting out. There's also more scavenges. It's nearly impossible to actually race on lady tokens. I find usually just throw all your barriers away and not use them, which makes the resistor kind of cool because it only costs 0, so you can just put it down. Whereas wraparound's not worth resing at that stage. So we're going to see a card that she's already seen, unfortunately, and it's not fast track. Yeah. Do we put the architect in R&D to try and do something? I think we just have to draw again. Try to find an agenda, and we don't. Even with the architect she's going through, she can just pawn whatever, pawn the imp, click for credit, run through, no problem. So really ice is like a complete write-off right now. I would love to see Ash. I would love to have a fast track on the deck so we can get that out. I think the first thing I'll be changing is making a spot for fast track. Because we should be in a good spot with the Sand and the Astro token together, but because there's no fast track, we're probably going to lose. Kind of the arms race of Netrunner. Like first, Fast Advance made the only important server R&D, and then the R&D interfaces and makers and everything made R&D get locked down, and then Fast Track breaks that on top of it by dropping it, letting you fetch your points anyway. So when you're missing that final step of Fast Track, you're sitting on the level of just getting R&D locked and being sad, because the ice is not going to cut it. If we had our second toll booth, we'd be much happier. If that was instead of the Enigma, I would be pretty pleased. And if any of these had been points, I would have been pleased actually too. I guess the MU is free, but I just wants to scavenge the imp, I see. Normally you just clone ship for cash and sell the cash, but with the memory full, sure. I think it would be a bit, is a dollar better to do sell the cash? I think it's better to sell the cash, clone ship for cash, and then use the scavenge to turn cash back into the imp, if you followed that. I'm not sure exactly. Just pawning the clone ship seems like it can't be the most efficient way to make your money. So a very reasonable legwork here. She figures that if we drew 3 times and saw agendas, she needs to take them right away. Is the imp going to hit this pop-up? Does she care? Not really. So now she can be 60% sure that there's not an agenda in here. Can't remember if you saw the sweeps or not. I think it's got to be last to click R&D, right? You don't let me draw a fresh card here. Yeah, for sure. So still not much point right in this Enigma. Yeah, that imp did a surprising amount of work where this toll booth was what we were counting on to dump our money into. Didn't really work out that way. And this could win for her pretty easily because we didn't draw, so we just drew non-agenda cards, thus fattening our deck up. Red Herrings letting us down. Somewhat. Oh, okay, that happened. So the third card she didn't imp. So we're going to mandatory that third card. And the next card she hasn't seen, if this is the Astro, we need it to be the Astro. It's not. Oh boy. you'd make 3, you'd be at 2, back up to 5, pay 1. Yeah, that is a better line by $1. So what we do now is probably just lose. I think this R&D run is gonna beat us. I think the best we can do is probably try to pull it into our hand. Yeah, there it is. Pretty slow. No advertising this turn, so she's gonna have money to take an APD. Do not want. So we're looking at 6 here, 7, 8, 9, 2 and 12 for R&D. It's gonna be 4 and 12 ones that goes in. So if she can trigger this Jackson and then run R&D, that probably just wins. But I don't think we've got a better chance. Because if we didn't play the Jackson, she can just run archives and win, which she would definitely do. So we had to play Jackson. We could have maybe iced Architect and R&D, but she can still go through it. Only question, would she have enough money for the NAP that way? I think so, because she can pawn her... She can pawn her baby this turn, which is probably the way to go if you think this is the last turn. And I think you want the imp so you can go twice in R&D if you trash something. Maybe. Yeah, that's the right play, I think. It's good. So if we shuffle now, she can't go here and back again for whatever that's worth. Not great. What else we need to put in? It doesn't really matter. Something that's not trashable. Let's get our booth back. Yeah, this is like 80–90% to win here. Yeah, there it goes. So just the NAPD, or the toll booth getting imp was a big problem. Not having fast track was a big problem. I think the main lesson to take away is just play fast track if you're yellow. And basically no exceptions, because that would have won us the game at any point. We did have some outs. We drew quite a bit trying to find this agenda, and it came out just a turn too late. So I think this was a total write-off, but the red herrings, kind of shaky on that. Getting trashed out of centrals was really sucky for $1. Did she remember that it was in there? If she didn't, then it was kind of silly of me. I mean, had we done that, we would have taxed this both times. Yeah, it is a little better. I guess all of getting her under this threshold of having the money. She could still come here for free and had a chance at it, but maybe rezzing this, because it wasn't her last click. I'm not sure the math on that. This she can still amp the first time through to get rid of a card that's not an agenda and put the density up a little bit, but making her pay extra $2. Maybe would add it up. She had the cloaks, so tough to say. I don't know, stuff to think about. Pick a little bit more draw would be good. There's a card in the next pack that has, when your turn begins, you can draw 3 and put 1 at the bottom. That would be really good for getting more ads in hand, because we didn't get as many triggers as I would like to get. We did trigger our pop-ups. We triggered a couple product placements. The launch went, but our pads didn't have time because they were just so late, and I didn't want to give her cards, so we weren't as good as I thought they would be. Thanks for watching.